Carl,
Yeah, I can't wait till we get started.
This is, you know what? This is going to go crazy. I can see this already. I did invite him up.
I've been blinking the whole time and you didn't even see.
That's because they keep telling me bring up people. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go, Joycey. Okay. Welcome for the first episode of On the Couch with Milli. Okay. So we're gonna have our co-host today is going to be the one and only Miss Cassie. And today's topic, let me just keep this simple. Today's topic is, can men be monogamous? Now we got a lot of people in here, a lot of people in the audience, and I can't wait to hear what they say. This has always been a very touchy topic. We have men and women, so stay tuned for this ride. I hope y'all learned something. I'm gonna have a good time, and I'm gonna ask the question again. Cassie, I'm gonna go to you. Cassie, what do you think? Can men be monogamous?
It depends. It depends on the guy, what type of guy he is. You know, all men are not boyish, so it just depends on the man.
Oh, so y'all see Cassie is giving
yes.
Cassie's giving the same answer, the safe answer. It depends on whether the sun aligned with the moon, and you know that's safe. And I understand. She's gonna be the good cop. I'm gonna be the bad cop. That's just how we're gonna do this here. So
does her answer mean yes?
Go ahead, unapologetic. Ask her.
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know. Does your answer mean yes?
Yes. It depends on the type of man you're dealing with.
So it's not a yes. It's a yes with conditions. That's what she's saying.
The question pertained to men in general. What I heard was yes, men. When she said depends on the man, I heard yes, men. There are some men who can be monogamous.
Okay.
I'm one of them.
Okay.
Voila. Wow, this is beautiful. Carl is not. Carl, one mic.
Hold on. If he's in a, hold on. We're talking about monogamy. So do you mind? We're talking about monogamy. No other form, no other type of a relationship.
So you don't want polyandry, who's not monogamous to speak? That's crazy.
No, that's not what I said. Don't put words in my mouth. Monogamy is a relationship between two people.
Okay.
Then there are other types of monogamy where, let's say, because poly's going to come up. In that relationship, the parties involved are practicing a monogamous relationship.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Wait, so unapologetic.
So let me clarify that, because when I'm speaking of monogamy, I'm speaking of one person, two people, right? Not two people in a polygamous relationship. I'm talking about a monogamous relationship, a man and a woman. Let's just stay there, okay? So, and we will get into the other topics. So yeah, so you unapologetic says that a man could be monogamous. Dang, I'm twisting my words.
No, thank you for that. Thank you for the context. I was just trying to cover my bases before somebody brought up poly. That's it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get there. I'm sure it's gonna progress there. You know, so since someone who is poly is gonna come up and say whatever they're gonna say. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it to Carl. Carl, what are your thoughts to the subject, to the title?
Bear with me and tell me to mute if there's too much background noise. I just picked up my kids. But, all right. Sorry to ask for more context. Should I answer this personally, or you want me to kind of answer the subject? Or it doesn't matter?
She just gave the context. So do you mind if I read the definition?
Could you hold off on that unapologetic?
Yeah, Carl, I would do both. Like, give me your general and then your personal.
Right. So personally, yes, I can be monogamous. Can men be monogamous generally? I personally think, and this isn't to offend anyone, it's just my perspective. I think that the framing is actually wrong. because we have to understand that we're socialized to have our relationships the way that they're set up. So I think that most men don't have a choice but to be monogamous, right? And I think that the reason women ask this question is because generally the men they're interested in are the minority of men who have the option to be polyamorous or have multiple women consent to be with them. And so if women are only looking at that narrow group of men, they would ask the question, oh, can a man be monogamous? But I think in reality, most men don't have a choice but to have one woman, if that.
Yeah,
That's why I wanted to give. That's why I wanted to give most men. Okay, so most men, most people have the choice to be in a monogamous relationship or not, right? If that encompasses cheating as well, that's a choice, right?
No, cheating means that they're violating.
I didn't cut you off. So all I'm saying is this: the one correlation that any monogamous relationship has in common is a relationship between two people. When you look at all the definitions of monogamous, all three definitions talk of two people in a relationship, whether you're married or not. Even pertaining to sex, it says two people, right? This notion that some men say that men are bred to sleep with as many women, that's fucking, right? But if I make a decision to only sleep with one woman at a time, I made a choice, just like if I made a decision not to be monogamous. I think people overanalyze this topic of conversation. I land.
Can I just say one thing? Remember, this is going to be broadcast on YouTube, so we have to be careful of the language we use so that it can actually be broadcast.
My bag on the cuss word.
And since I got a moment, I'll just say, y'all know I'm a monogamous person. I believe in monogamy. I believe in loyalty. And I just think it's a mindset. It ain't got nothing to do with gender, race, or nothing like that. It's a mindset. If you want to be monogamous, if you want to be true, you can. And if you think you slick and you want to do other things, you will.
I agree. So I'm going to be that person that's going to say, if they think women can be monogamous, they better also know that they can.
I didn't understand that. Can you say that again?
I said, I'm going to be that person that's going to bring it to the other gender. And I'm going to say, if they can be monogamous men, then they should also know. I'm sorry, if they think that women can be monogamous, they should also know that they can be too. Men. Because like Stefan said, it's a mindset. It's not a gender thing. Because a lot of men like to say, oh, it's biology. We're not wired that way. We need to plant our seed and all this stupid stuff. So that's bogus. And I agree with Stefan. And I'm saying it's a mindset, which means either gender can choose or not choose to be monogamous.
Actually, I said it before Stefan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't
paying attention. What I said.
Okay.
Actually, I said that 5 years ago, but...
And with casual sex, if you think about it, monogamy is the concept is what's a dying breed today.
It sounds to me that we probably better just use the word fidelity. Because that's what it sounded like. It sounded like, can a person be faithful in the context of that relationship dynamic?
Right. Well, why would you say that hold on. Why would he say that when I said casual sex? Some women and men are okay with casual sex.
We're talking about relationships, so to me that doesn't even apply.
I got you. So most people don't want to be in a relationship. That's men and women. And they're preferring casual sex.
But even in the casual sex category, there's a certain monogamy. You know, what they say, people are being exclusive. That's a form of monogamy. So even in the casual sex narrative, you still have a monogamous mindset that's dominant, because people don't want to just have casual sex with just anybody. They want to know that the person they're sleeping with is safe.
I know I said the same thing. I said the second definition, when you look up monogamous, it says that very thing. Sex between two people only, right? But people they get tired, right? They want something new, right? And then that door is open to say, well, I'm single. We're not in a relationship. People are having those conversations too.
I think too, when we start talking about can men be monogamous, that's like saying, can a person lose weight? Sure, yeah, you eat right, go work out, you could lose weight, but are they going to lose weight? Should they lose weight? So it's like, should a man be monogamous? Will a man be monogamous? Because can a man be monogamous? Sure, he could be. He can force himself into that situation. I think like Carl brought it up, like some guys actually really have no choice, for lack of a better description of it. So can a man be monogamous? Yes, but should he be monogamous? Does he want to be monogamous? That's a whole nother can of worms.
EQ, why shouldn't, so let's unpack those categories. Let's start with why shouldn't he be monogamous?
Can I answer that one?
You the one that said it. Hey, why shouldn't, I'm not attacking you. You brought up 3 different categories. That's why. So let's start with the first one.
You brought that up.
Right, that's what I said. He brought up. So EQ, why shouldn't a man be monogamous? Can you give some examples why?
I'll let the brother Stefan go ahead and take my turn for right now.
So hold on, EQ. You're saying that a man should not be monogamous?
No.
I didn't say that.
He asked questions. No.
Well, okay, go ahead. Let me understand, because I didn't really hear you guys. I was in the, I didn't hear you.
Oh, just to quickly reiterate to the title, can men be monogamous? I said, yes, men can be monogamous, just like a person can lose weight. But are they going to lose weight? So should the man be monogamous? Will the man be monogamous? Does he want to be monogamous? And then the brother Unapologetic asked me, do I think he should be monogamous along with some of the other things? And
why shouldn't he be monogamous? So I was saying, why? Can you give some reasons?
The reason I asked to clarify that, because you say the question is can. Yes, because I've heard several times that it's in their nature not to be. So my question, the word can was very deliberate. Can, because a lot of times you hear, it's not within their nature. This is how they were created, boom, boom, boom. So that's why that was there. Do you think that, and some people say, yes, they can, because I've done it. Or some people say, yeah, I've done it at a certain time, because I did cheat here and there, but with this one particular girl, I didn't cheat. And to me, that says I didn't cheat yet. If you've cheated all these other relationships, you cannot be monogamous. It's just you haven't cheated yet, or you haven't cheated with this person, right?
Being a little bit pregnant.
Exactly.
But that's why I was asking him. Can you give us some examples? Each thing that he touched on. The first one was, why shouldn't a man practice monogamy?
Right.
Can you give some examples why he shouldn't?
I mean, I could if I was to say that he shouldn't be. I haven't really said one way or another if he should.
No, I'm not saying this is your personal opinion.
Okay,
I'm trying to help you further your point.
Right.
Let's go through each one, not just this one. Let's start with this one. Why shouldn't a man practice monogamy?
Well, if I had to stand on that side of the aisle and say why he shouldn't be monogamous, my best outline would probably be the genetics and biological makeup of it all.
Can I answer that? Unapologetic.
Please do.
I just want to answer that question. Repopulation of the world is the only time I can see a man being in a situation where monogamy is not on the table. After most of the major wars in the world, the population of men was declining. So men were out making multiple babies with multiple women because we had to repopulate. That's the only situation where I can see monogamy being removed from the conversation, is we need to repopulate.
Right, but most people fuck for pleasure. People, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. Most people have sex more times. The reason for having sex for people most times in their life is for pleasure, not to procreate. That's if you're married or not. You're having sex for pleasure more than you are for procreation. So if you have sex 10 to 100 times, a couple of the times is going to be to procreate. But the purpose, the main purpose for all of us when we have sex is for pleasure. That's single or married.
That's and monogamy is kind of like, is monogamy just like a relationship or actually being married?
No, man. That's why I asked if I can give the definitions. So now, monogamous, right? Involving, first definition, involving marriage to open to one person at a time. Second definition, having a sexual relationship with only one partner at a time. Third definition, having only one mate at a time. We all know what monogamy means, man. All I'm saying is, I think monogamy is more for companionship, for those who want monogamy. Because it can't be for sex, because the majority of the time, it can't just be for sex, because the majority of the time we have sex, right? With casual sex being at the forefront and not marriage anymore. And then it can't be for procreation, because the majority of the time you're having sex, whether you're single or not, is for pleasure, not procreation.
That's a fact. I agree with you there. Let's not pretend like we're trying to procreate when everybody else is trying to control the population. So don't act like that's what we're doing. That's not what it is. You're right.
And Milli, the reason that I posed the question to can a man be monogamous, because to me the obvious answer would be yes, he could if he put his mind to it. But does he want to do that? Should he be doing that?
Okay, so let's break it down a little bit. Now, in today's society, do you think there are more men that are monogamous or not? Like, would that change the direction of the conversation?
I think Carl hit it on the head. That the variable of the man being the type of man that's rich or whatever, or nice looking, whatever, he's going to have more options, right? So he probably don't have to subscribe to the whole me being with one woman thing. Normally, it don't go like that when you at a certain type of level, because a lot of women understand this man is at a higher level. It would kind of be foolish of me to expect him to be with just me when I know for a fact he has other options. And on the nature of man.
Where y'all find where these women's at, because I don't know them. Because so you're saying
Magic Johnson wife, you ever heard of her?
If a man is attractive or have more going for him, then he most likely can't be monogamous. So monogamy is based on your status. That is bullshit. Because you can be the finest man, the richest man, and choose that you are with this person that you respect, that you value, just because you want to be with this person. I personally think, and I'm going to bring my opinion into this now, that a man can be monogamous. A man can be monogamous if, okay, he is with the person he's with for the right reasons. Like, he found the person that he want to be with. This is they vibe, everything, their match, and this is who he want to be with. He will be monogamous to that person because he do not want to lose that person and risk losing that person. But a lot of times we see people not being monogamous because they're not getting into relationships for the sake of getting into a good, healthy relationship. They're getting in for a helpmate, not in the sense that the Bible say, but for them to help pay their bills, for them to help them babysit the kids that they have with another woman, for a whole lot of other reasons. Because I strongly believe, and I got this directly from someone who I know has been monogamous, that once you're with the woman you want to be with, there's no need to look anywhere else.
Tell that to Jay-Z. Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce.
Yeah, and guess what Jay-Z is singing right now? He's telling the world, well, you know, I didn't realize she my soulmate. Now I know she my soulmate. Like all that bullshit.
Yeah, but when you a man, but when you a man with money, even a woman as higher level as Beyonce.
If a man needs money to make him that man, he is a weak man.
No, that's what I'm saying.
A man. Because what happens when he loses that money, or if he does lose that money? That's
what I'm saying. That Jay-Z did that, right? We all know and love Beyonce. Beyonce is at the pinnacle of what a woman is in America. Even she dealt with the infidelity because at the level he's at. Even Beyonce, you say, you know what? I'm going to take this on the chin and make an album called Lemonade. Even she took it on the chin. So imagine what the average woman is taking on the chin.
We say that to say what, though, in the context of the conversation?
That when men have money, they have more options, so monogamy isn't really as...
And explain homosexuals. Homosexuals out here still getting mushu. You see what I'm saying? You can't make an abstract statement, man, because there are examples that contradict that.
Okay, but... and forgive me, unapologetic, I think you keep bringing up casual sex, and it's derailing the conversation. If we're talking about monogamy, we're talking about...
I am talking about monogamy.
Maybe then that's just my opinion. Because if we're talking about monogamy...
There are homosexuals that are in relationships, sir.
That's true. That's true. All right, but if we're talking about monogamy, I think we're talking about people who are making choices, right? It's not as though I'm one person, I'm fucking around, and I'm just deciding that I'm just going to fuck around with one person, right? Maybe someone could call that monogamy, but I don't think that's the context in which we're speaking, right? We're speaking of a man making the intentional choice to only be with one woman. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Carl, is that not what I said when I spoke earlier? Choices.
Unapologetic, I don't remember everything you said, sir. There's other people speaking. I'm just trying to understand where we are in the conversation since Jay-Z and Beyonce came up. Right, because obviously they've been married since 2008. All right, so they've been married going on 16 years, right? So we're talking about men choosing one woman. No,
he chose to marry her. No, he chose.
It doesn't have to be marriage. I'm saying, what are we talking about?
Hold on. Okay, I'm trying to explain to you. If I stay faithful, I made a choice. If I cheat, I made a choice. I'm the one to introduce choice into this conversation.
But what are we talking about? Are we talking about men choosing to be with one woman?
I said that when I first spoke. Monogamy is a person making a choice to be with one person. I want to make a distinction
between two things that could be called monogamy. Are we talking about a man choosing to be with one woman? Or are we talking about an individual controlling their sexual proclivities?
Everybody, did I not answer these?
Oh my God, I'm apologizing.
Everybody, did I answer these questions? Bro. No, hold on. What I'm saying is right now, you're the one derailing this conversation.
No, if I'm derailing, I'm just trying to understand where we are.
Well, the reason I brought up Jay-Z and Beyonce when I directed it towards Milli was because, so what you had said, Carl, a lot of men are with one woman because that's the only choice and option that they have because they don't have what society calls resources or a lot of money or swag or whatever it might be, right? So they might be coerced by different variables into being with one woman versus a man that does have the options, does have women throwing themselves at him for a lot of different reasons, i.e., Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce because he has these options. And even at the high level Beyonce is at, she took it on the chin because of his position.
Oh, no.
So
no,
when
no,
you,
no, no. We're not going to do that, EQ. We're not going to do that.
Put some gas in the car.
She did not take it on the chin. Let's not do that.
She took it on the chin.
And not because she did not take it on the chin, so we're not going to do that, right? One. Two, the second part of this is all men have the same option. Whether they're living in the hood, They have good options. When they're living anywhere, they still have the same options.
Don't spread those lies.
Not because, yes, they do. Because the guy outside in the street that is the weed guy that can get the girl, each one that's going to $10 a bag of weed, he got options. What are you talking about? Everybody got options on their level. So essentially,
that's not saying the same as everybody got the same options. Everybody has options, but they're not the same.
So EQ. Yes, the guy that's in the ghetto selling the weed, he doesn't have the option to date a Beyonce, but he have an option to date whoever is there, Shaniqua. It's the same options. What are we talking about?
Right, he might have options with Shaniqua.
If option is the reason that you cheated, you got to come back with something better than that. Thank you.
Well, when you at the top, when you out the ghetto and you actually, making moves, you have more options and better options, and not only options, you have something that's called leverage. You have leverage in the situation, so now the woman knows, dang, this dude got money. Dang, this dude can be with this woman and that woman. If I try to put the pressure on him to just be with me and only me, he might walk away because he has so many options of a higher caliber.
Yeah, I think the options conversation is overstated because none of it happens in a vacuum, right? So when I think of monogamy versus other relationship setups or mating strategies, I'm thinking of people doing this voluntarily, right? That's why earlier I wanted to make the distinction between monogamy and infidelity and polyamory, right? So I think it's really important to be clear so that we can all have the same conversation, right? I think that, like I said earlier, most men only have the option, and a lot of that has to do with social pressures that have nothing to do with them. A lot of men only have the option for women to voluntarily, knowingly sign up to be their only woman, right? Now, as the other comments have mentioned, anybody can cheat, anybody can lie. So I don't even think that's even useful to mention. I'm talking about what you can voluntarily get someone to agree to. I think very few men have the ability to get more than one woman to know about the other woman and still agree to be his woman, right? And generally, it does have to do with status and resources, but that's not always the case, right? A lot of it can just be emotional or the need for companionship or help, or just, trying to get through a certain emotional situation that the woman is in. And generally she makes that call, right? So this is why I kind of want to shift the conversation if I could, because I think that because men are in the title, that the conversation is too male-centric. But women actually control the dating market, like whether we want to believe that or not, right? So I agree with Network pushing back on Beyonce taking it on the chin. She didn't, right? We already mentioned she made a whole album where she said, you could lose your wife. And also, once you're Beyonce, there's really no further level to go up, right? As far as she's concerned, especially given her age, her history, her position, anybody other than Jay would be a quote-unquote downgrade. And perhaps to her, it's just not worth it given what happened, right? So I don't think you could use that example to say that, women across the board will accept.
I wouldn't say across the board. Nah, not.
Yeah, I'm not saying you are. I'm just talking about her pushback. I'm not saying to anybody else's point. I'm talking to her pushback about saying Beyonce took it on the chin. I don't think Beyonce took it on the chin, and I don't think that's an example to say that the average woman will take that from the average man. I don't think that's the case at all.
Hey, Carl,
I think if you're talking about... Yes, sir.
As long as a man gets morning wood, is still getting morning wood. Do you agree or disagree that it's going to be easier for him? That it's going to be easier for him to get pussy versus finding a significant other in 2024.
You don't gotta be that vulgar. I'm recording.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay,
my bad.
Look, unapologetic. I think I agree with you, but I don't know, right? Because not all pussy is created equal, right? I mean, prostitution is... No, real shit. Hold on, let me finish. I'm sorry to curse. Prostitution is a thing, right? All you need is enough money to actually have sex, period, right? If we're talking about pussy outside of sex work... We're talking about, if we're talking about pussy outside of sex work,
stop cursing.
We're talking about a woman.
Can we use a different word for the
okay, we're talking about sex outside of the sex industry. We're talking about a woman, regardless of what you might think of her, her beauty, her status, whatever. This is an adult woman volunteering to allow you to enter her body, right? Whether or not it's easier to get a woman to do that versus to get a woman to sign up for commitment, I don't think the answer is straightforward. I think it varies depending on the man, right? Because women are like economists in their own right. There are certain men that they wouldn't mind spending the night with. There are certain men that they would need a commitment from. And there are some men that they would not even take the commitment from unless that commitment had a huge payoff, right? Like, men are not created equally when it comes to how women select. So I think it requires a lot more context.
Right. So the context that you're speaking of in 2024, and this is why I brought up casual sex. So I know more men who missed out on money chasing Mushu than I know who missed out on Mushu chasing money. Right?
I thought we were calling that the ooh-wee. We calling it Mushu.
I said Mushu. Hold on. So I know a plethora of homosexuals in and out of relationships, right? That have a plethora of women at their beck and call. I know a lot of men of means that don't have the gift of the gab that strike out left and right.
He's right, y'all.
I don't disagree with that, but
got a point.
I don't think that means it's straightforward, which is easier to get. I really think that depends on the man and the women that he's speaking to, right? If he goes to a church with I don't want to be disrespectful. If he goes to a place with a bunch of middle-aged women who are looking for marriage, it's going to be very easy for him to get commitment there. If he goes to a club, he might not leave with a phone number, right? And that might have nothing to do with him. It's just the women are not on that type of time. That's not what they're looking for, you know? So, and again, this is why I said at the outset, we're making this so male-centric, right? Because, men can get in their egos and, women like to skirt accountability, so they'll make it all about the men. But when it comes to dating, women dominate, right? Like, there's really nothing men can do.
How do women dominate?
Because they choose. Right now, they choose poorly pretty often, and that's where men can, get it.
But don't the men choose who they decide to get on one... Hold on. Hey, don't men choose who they get on one knee with?
That's marriage. We talking about dating.
That's relationships.
So, that's marriage. That's right. So, Carl, are women getting BBLs, wearing the big fake eyelashes and stuff like that, for men or women?
For men.
Else. But let me just say this, because I'm listening to this.
Can the person that's asked the question answer the question before everybody else start talking?
If other people can talk, brother.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I just want the person that was asked the question.
To one person, let that person answer. We got it. Go ahead.
I'm not saying can't nobody speak. I just asked them a question. That's it.
Annoy the room because my answers tend to be nuanced. I know what you're trying to say.
You're
unapologetic.
not annoying the room. You're fine. Go ahead.
Network. Look, so just because a woman does something to attract a man doesn't mean she's doing it for him, right? So the women I know who have BBLs, they work in entertainment, right? They're either sex workers, they're bartenders, etc., right? So sure, they're doing it for the attention of men, but they don't want those guys. They want the tips.
Hey, sex workers is a smaller...
No, but you're talking about BBLs. But you're talking about BBLs, right? The average person getting a BBL...
Carl. Prostitution and sex workers... That's even minute of women, and women are minute of the entire population. That's even a smaller demographic.
BBLs though, when it comes to BBLs, they're dominant in that market.
So all sex workers, so everybody
to go to the post office to sit on the.
So what are you talking about? So all women who get BBLs aren't sex workers.
I'm gonna give him some pushback there. Most of the people, it depends on where you are, because a lot of people who get BBLs and stuff like that, they're regular average women who just finally got the money to do what they're doing. A lot of the women, I'm in South Florida. A lot of the women out here that have BBLs and stuff like that is regular women that work at the doctor's office. I actually just started a recovery home where I deal with that, and I know most of them, all of them that I've had so far, none of them were sex workers. They're actually regular women at work. They're not bartenders. They have regular jobs. They saved up for 4 years to come and get their body done.
They definitely sell vagina parts.
A lot of the reason come from trauma because their band done broke their heart. Just saying, but yeah, it's not. But I get what you're saying, but it's not the case for sure, for real. It's just what you see on the internet.
But they're definitely not doing it to become wives though. Like majority of them sell pussy on the side, whether or not y'all like to admit it. When they go on dates, they go on these apps.
And what would that be? Casual sex?
Let me finish. They get taken out to Ruth Chris. They want a man to buy bags. They do it for the tricks. So they definitely do it for the money.
Okay, I'm gonna go to a quick commercial break and we can continue this conversation so that Joyce, we're gonna take a quick commercial break and we'll come right back to this. So we're taking a commercial break right now.
So what is it when you do a commercial? What is it? Silence? What are we doing?
Form on Mills.